What's the worst announcement your school ever made? I was halfway through my sandwich when the old speakers buzzed loudly. They always did before an announcement, but this time it didn't sound like the lunch schedule. The principal's voice came on, but it was shaky.
Attention students, everyone must return to their classrooms immediately and lock the doors. This is not a drill.
The lunch lady stopped serving, and I looked at my friends, and they looked at me, and then we all moved at once. By the time we got to class, our teacher was already closing the blinds. She locked the door behind us and told us to move our desks to the corner away from the windows. Nobody said anything, but everyone was thinking the same thing. There was a shooter. A few minutes later, we heard sirens and then screaming. Our teacher tried to calm us down and told us it might be a misunderstanding, but her hands were shaking. She kept refreshing the email on her laptop like it was giving her live updates. Then we heard a loud pop from the hallway, like a metal slamming or something crashing hard. People started crying and whispering that they were right outside, and I believed them. I looked at our teacher, and for the first time in my life, I saw her cry. She sat with us, hugged the younger kids, and told us it would be okay. But after a while, she got up again and walked back to her laptop. Then something changed, because her face went pale. She looked at me and asked if there was a Jack Arthur in here. The whole class turned to me like I was in trouble. She asked me to come to her and whispered if I had anything in the room that belonged to me, and I told her just my backpack. She told me to grab it and wait by the door. I didn't understand what was happening, so I waited. A few minutes later, there was a knock, and the teacher opened the door and told me to go with the officer. Outside, the hallway was full of cops and medics, so I thought maybe I was being arrested and tried to think what I did wrong. But then I saw the soda machine near the bathrooms tipped over, and next to it, a shoe and a leg sticking out. The officer stepped in front of me fast and told me to keep my eyes forward, but I'd already seen it. He took me to a side room and told me to wait. Then the door opened and my uncle walked in. He lives an hour away and he never comes to school. So I asked him if I was in trouble, but told me I was safe. I asked about my little brother, Timmy, but he didn't answer. Instead, he told me I needed to be strong for him, but I didn't understand. He asked me to wear a blindfold and told me we were going home early and wanted to surprise me. It was weird, but I didn't ask questions. We drove home and he let me stay up late. The next morning, I didn't go to school. My parents finally came home around noon and they looked exhausted. My mom hugged me like she hadn't seen me in years. I asked her where little Timmy was and she started crying. She told me there was an accident. A teacher had a heart attack while driving, but I didn't understand, so I asked again what that had to do with Timmy. She told me Timmy was on the school bus coming back from a field trip and the teacher's car hit the bus hard. Most kids were okay and some were hurt bad, but little Timmy didn't make it. I told her she was lying and said it was a school shooting. I heard the bang and saw a body under the soda machine, but she told me not everyone followed the instructions that day. One student snuck out and tried to get a free soda. He rocked the machine back and forth and it fell on him and killed him instantly. I looked at my dad and he didn't deny it and told me he was sorry. I ran to Timmy's room. His bed was still messy and his favorite shirt was on the floor. I hugged it and started crying and kept saying I was sorry. Everyone thought the worst part of that day was the lockdown, but for me, it was the day my little brother didn't come back.